On the grid, show by shading the region that satisfies all three of these inequalities. And then we need to label the region R. I'm going to start off with this one here just because that's already in the form of y equals mx plus c. So the y-intercept is minus 3. So I'm starting down here at minus 3. And the gradient is 2, which means when I go along 1 square, I go up 2 squares. Along 1 square, up 2 squares, along 1, up 2, along 1, up 2, and so on. So this line is going to look something like that. Now I need to decide, am I looking at the region above that line, or am I looking at the region below that line? Remember that everywhere on this line is where y is equal to 2x minus 3. But I want y to be less than that. I want it to be below that line. So I'm looking at this region down here. Not necessarily the whole region, because I need to look at the other inequalities in a minute. But just remember that we're looking below that red line. Right, let's move to this one next. I'm going to just rearrange this slightly to make y the subject. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. And I'm actually just going to swap that 5 and the minus x around. So I'm going to put the minus x at the front and the plus 5 at the back. The only reason I'm doing that is just to make it so it looks like the y equals mx plus c. So now I can see that my y-intercept is 5 here. And I can see that my gradient is minus 1. There's a minus 1 in front of that x there. Which means that when I go along 1 square, I go down 1, along 1, down 1, along 1, down 1, along 1, down 1, and so on. So this line is going to look something like that. And now again, I need to think, am I looking above that blue line or below that blue line? Remember that everywhere on that blue line is where x plus y equals 5. But I need it to be less than 5. So I need it to be below that blue line. So here. But also remember that we needed it to be below the red line as well. So actually, just in this bit here so far, that bit there in green is below both the blue line and the green line. Sorry, the red line, both below the blue and the red. But we do still have one more inequality to go. Again, I want to make y the subject. So I'm going to add that 2y to both sides. I'm then going to, just because I don't like the negative there, that's why I'm going to add that over here. Because I want it to be y equals mx plus c. I don't want that minus 2y. But I also don't want it to be next to that 4, so let's subtract that 4 from both sides. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So x divided by 2 is 1/2 x, the 4 divided by 2, or rather the minus 4 divided by 2, is minus 2. Again, let's compare that to the y equals mx plus c. My y-intercept is minus 2, which is here. And my gradient, m, is 1/2, which means that I go along 2, along 2 up 1. So along 2 up 1, along 2 up 1, along 2 up 1, and so on. Something like that. And again, am I looking above that green line or below that green line? Remember that everywhere on that green line is where x minus 2y let me just get the rearranged version that I just had. I had x. Okay, so everywhere on that line is where y is equal to the half x minus 2. And I need y to be above that. I need y to be above that line. So we're looking above the green line, but below the blue line and below the red line. And so we're looking at that little triangle there. Label it region R. Done.